All right, let's jump right in. We're doing a deep dive today into personal growth, and we've got some really interesting material to work with.
Yes.
You guys sent us John Maxwell's 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth.
Yeah.
Looks like someone out there is trying to level up in a big way.
Absolutely. And what I think is so fascinating about this book is that it's not just a bunch of, like vague self-help stuff.
Right.
It really is like a practical roadmap
Yeah,
for growth. Like, you can take these laws and actually put them into action in your life.
totally. Okay, so law number 1, the law of intentionality. This one really kind of sets the stage, doesn't it?
It does.
It's like, hey, wake-up call.
Yeah.
You're not going to grow just by, like sitting around wishing for it. You've got to be intentional about it.
Yeah, you've got to be deliberate. You have to have a plan. Maxwell talks about this thing called the assumption gap,
Oh.
which is this, trap that we fall into where we just assume that we're going to improve over time automatically.
Right?
But growth doesn't just happen.
No.
You have to be intentional about it. You have to put in the work.
Okay, so let's talk about that work.
Yeah.
Like, what does that look like? Does Maxwell give us some, actual steps we can take?
He does. He does. And one of the biggest things he emphasizes is don't wait,
Okay.
right? Don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait until you have it all figured out.
Right, yeah. We're all guilty of that.
Exactly,
Yeah.
yeah. We say, oh, I'll start tomorrow, or I need to come up with the perfect plan first. And Maxwell's like, no.
Yeah.
The best time to start is now.
Yes.
Like right now. Even if it's just a small step, take action today.
Love it. Action over perfection,
Oh,
right?
it's absolutely.
So-
And that leads perfectly into law number 2, which is the law of awareness.
Okay.
Because before you can even start moving, you need to know where you are,
Right.
right? It's like having that you are here marker on a map.
Right.
If you don't know where you're starting from, how are you going to get where you're going?
Okay, so how do we figure that out when it comes to personal growth? Are we talking deep introspection here?
I mean, yeah, to some extent. Maxwell actually has this really brilliant set of 10 self-awareness questions
Okay, yeah.
that he recommends you ask yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And they really make you dig deep.
Okay.
They're not easy questions.
Okay.
Like one of them is, do you actually enjoy what you're currently doing?
Whoa.
Yeah,
That's getting right to the point.
right to the core.
Yeah. It's so easy to get caught up, in the day-to-day and not actually step back and be like, am I even happy?
Right, exactly. Are you on the right path?
Yeah.
Is this actually leading me where I want to go?
Okay. Powerful stuff. Okay, so I'm already, my mind's blown.
Yeah.
We're only on law 2, so let's keep going. What's law number 3 all about?
Okay. Law number 3 is the law of the mirror, and this one's all about your self-perception.
Okay.
Maxwell says you can't add value to yourself if you don't see value in yourself to begin with.
Wait, hold on. You're saying, my self-esteem can actually hold me back from growing?
Oh, absolutely.
I never really thought about it that way.
It's a huge factor, yeah. He says low self-esteem is like this invisible barrier that prevents you from reaching your full potential.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like trying to build a house on a shaky foundation.
Yeah, that's a good analogy.
Yeah.
Okay, so how do we strengthen that foundation then? How do we start seeing ourselves in a more positive light?
Well, Maxwell has this really interesting exercise for this. He suggests writing down 100 positive things about yourself.
100.
100.
Okay.
I know it sounds a little cheesy, but it can be really powerful.
Yeah, I can see how that would be impactful. It forces you to really focus on your strengths
Yes.
and all the good things instead of dwelling on the negative,
Exactly. It's like retraining your brain
Yeah.
to see the good in yourself. And it ties into what he calls the reflection gap,
Okay.
which is that a lot of us, we skip over reflecting on our wins
Right.
and our positive qualities
Yeah.
that can really hinder our growth.
Okay, I like that. The reflection gap. Okay. That actually leads us right into law number 4, right?
It does, yes.
The law of reflection. And I'm sensing a theme here.
Yes.
A lot of these laws are kind of connected.
Oh, absolutely. They all build upon each other
Yeah.
to create this incredible framework for personal growth.
Yeah. Love that.
And the law of reflection, it's all about taking the time to pause,
right.
to look back, and to really learn from your experiences. It's like hitting the pause button on life and saying, okay, where am I at?
Yeah.
What's working? What's not working?
So it's not just about thinking about our mistakes, right?
Yeah.
It's about reflecting on everything, good and bad.
Exactly. To figure out what's working, what can we learn from,
Absolutely.
And Maxwell breaks this down into 4 stages.
Okay.
Investigation, incubation, illustration,
Wow.
and illumination. So it's not just about looking back, it's about processing what you've learned and using it to move forward.
That's so valuable. Okay, so I can already see how, like, intentionality, awareness, self-belief, reflection, all of these things are so important.
Yeah.
But let's be real.
Yeah.
Even after all that reflection, even when you know what you need to do, it can be hard to stay on track, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Life gets in the way,
Yeah.
motivation fades. Like, how do we keep that momentum going?
Well, that's where law number 5 comes in. The law of consistency. And this one's all about building those daily habits
Go ahead.
that keep you moving forward even when you don't feel like it.
So, like, motivation gets you started, but consistency keeps you going.
Exactly, exactly. And Maxwell says, so many people fall into what he calls the inspiration gap.
Okay.
They're waiting for that burst of energy to hit them, but real growth doesn't come from inspiration. It comes from disciplined action.
Yeah, consistency. So I know he actually has a challenge
He does, yes.
related to this.
Yeah.
Something about finding one small thing you can do every single day
Yes.
to work toward your goals.
That's right. Find one small thing.
Yeah.
It could be, reading for 15 minutes or working on a skill
Yeah.
or, even just writing down 3 things you're grateful for.
Right.
The point is to build that consistency, that momentum over time.
Love it. Okay, so we've got the intention, the awareness, the self-belief, the reflection, the consistency. What else do we need?
Well, imagine a plant trying to grow in the wrong soil.
Okay.
Not enough sunlight.
Hmm.
It's not going to thrive, is it?
Right.
And it's the same with us. Law number 6 is all about environment,
Okay.
creating the right conditions for growth.
So we're talking about, like, the people we surround ourselves with, that kind of environment?
Exactly, exactly. The people you spend time with, the places you go, the information you consume, all of that creates your environment.
And that has a huge impact on your growth.
A huge impact. And Maxwell actually, encourages you to take a look around and say, okay, is my environment supporting my growth?
Okay.
Are the people around me also striving to grow?
Yeah.
Is the overall atmosphere positive and supportive?
It's like if you're surrounded by negativity or by people who are, stagnant,
Yes,
that's going to rub off on you.
absolutely. Absolutely. And sometimes to keep growing, you need to make a change
Right.
to your environment. Find new friends, find new mentors, new communities,
Yeah.
whatever it takes to create that fertile ground for growth.
Yeah, totally. Okay, this is blowing my mind. I'm already, like, seeing so many areas in my own life where I'm like,
Right.
okay, I need to, make some changes.
Yes.
But where do we even begin?
That brings us to law number 7, the law of design.
Okay.
And this is all about getting practical,
Okay.
creating a blueprint for your growth.
So are we talking like a detailed plan?
Yes, a plan,
Yeah.
a strategy.
Okay.
Because Maxwell says, you can't just have good intentions. You've got to have a plan. And he actually says your personal growth plan should come before your career plan.
Oh, interesting.
Right. Figure out who you want to be first,
Yeah.
and then design a life that supports that.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. And does Maxwell have any tips for, like, actually making that plan?
He does. He does. One of his biggest pieces of advice is to keep it simple.
Okay.
Right. Develop systems that simplify your life. He says if you can't explain it simply, it's probably too complicated.
I love that.
Have it simple.
Okay, so don't overcomplicate things. Find ways to, like, streamline your life so you can focus on what matters.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've got a plan. But even with the best plan in place, there are going to be challenges along the way.
Oh, absolutely. Life is full of challenges.
Right. And that actually brings us to law number 8, which is all about pain,
Yes.
but not in the way you might think.
Right.
So tell me more about this. What's this about pain being a part of growth
Well, think about it. Have you ever gone through a really tough experience? Oh, yeah.
that ultimately made you stronger?
Yeah, for sure.
That's what this law is all about. It's not about seeking out pain,
Right.
but it's about how we manage the pain, the setbacks, the challenges that inevitably come our way.
Yeah.
And we can use those as fuel for growth.
So we're not trying to avoid pain altogether.
No.
It's more about using it to our advantage.
Exactly. Learning from it, growing from it, becoming stronger because of it.
Okay, so don't just endure it, learn from it.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. So we've talked about having a strong foundation, reflecting on our experiences, embracing the challenges.
Uh-huh.
What's next? Where do we go from here?
Well, law number 9 focuses on character.
Okay.
It's called the law of the ladder. And Maxwell makes this really interesting argument that character is actually more important than competence. Oh, wait, are you serious? So, skills and knowledge aren't enough.
Not enough.
We need, like, a strong character foundation, too.
Yes. Think about it.
Right.
A lot of our shortcomings, a lot of the mistakes we make are actually due to character flaws, not a lack of skills. You can be incredibly talented,
Right.
but if you lack integrity, honesty, humility,
Hmm.
it's going to catch up to you.
Okay, that's powerful. So we need to be working on our, like, inner selves
Yeah.
just as much as we work on our, outer skills.
Absolutely. That
Yeah.
inner growth, that strong character,
Yeah.
that's the foundation.
Okay. I'm starting to see the bigger picture here of what it takes to really grow as a person.
Yeah.
So where do we go from here?
Let's keep going.
What's the next piece of the puzzle?
All right, well, law number 10, this one is all about stretching ourselves. It's the law of the rubber band.
Okay, a rubber band. I'm picturing it. Where's the growth connection?
All right, well, think about it. A rubber band that's just sitting there, not stretched, it's basically useless, right?
Right. Yeah.
It only becomes useful. It only has power when it's pulled taut, when there's that tension.
Hmm.
And Maxwell says it's the same with us as people. We need that tension, that stretch between where we are and where we could be.
So like setting ambitious goals,
Yeah.
things that push us outside our comfort zone.
Exactly. You got setting those goals that really make us reach and strive for more.
I like that. And I think Maxwell actually has a quote about this, doesn't he? Something about like, what do we need tomorrow for?
He does. He says, if you won't be better tomorrow than you were today, then what do you need tomorrow for? It's like a challenge to make every single day count.
Right. It's like, don't waste time.
Exactly.
Make the most of it.
So how do we actually create that stretch? What does that look like practically? Yeah, good question. Well, Maxwell suggests setting a lifetime goal, something big and audacious, something that really lights you up.
Okay.
And maybe even scares you a little bit,
Right. Something that feels almost impossible.
Yeah, it's that vision that pulls you forward, that keeps you motivated even when things get tough.
Okay. I'm feeling inspired, I got to admit. But let's be realistic for a second. Sometimes reaching those big goals means making some tough choices, right?
Yeah, well, absolutely. You're right. And that actually leads us perfectly into law number 11, the law of trade-offs.
Okay.
It's the reality that we can't have it all sometimes. To gain something valuable, you have to let go of something else.
Yeah, and I think that's something that we all struggle with, right? Like it's just a part of life, figuring out what to prioritize.
It is, and the key, according to Maxwell, is to make good trade-offs.
Okay.
He says successful people are really good at this, while unsuccessful people either make bad trade-offs or no trade-offs at all.
So it's not just about saying no to things.
No.
It's about being strategic about it, making sure that the things we are saying yes to are actually aligned with our goals and values.
Exactly. And this law really got me thinking about how comfort can be a growth killer.
Oh yeah, comfort can be dangerous.
It can be so easy to just stay in our comfort zones.
Right, where it's safe and familiar.
Exactly, but that's not where real growth happens.
So it sounds like we have to be willing to sacrifice some comfort, some security, maybe even some immediate gratification.
Yeah, if we want to reach our full potential.
That's deep. Okay, so we're making tough choices. We're pushing ourselves outside our comfort zones. What's next?
All right, well, law number 12 is all about curiosity.
Oh, I like this one.
Yeah, and curiosity is such a powerful engine for growth.
It is. I'm a naturally curious person.
Yeah.
I love to learn new things. And Maxwell actually encourages us to make why our favorite word right.
He does. He says, never stop questioning, never stop digging deeper.
And it's not just about asking questions either.
No, it's about being open to new experiences, new perspectives, new possibilities.
It's about being engaged with the world around us, always seeking to learn and grow. And that kind of leads perfectly into law number 13, right?
Right.
Modeling.
It does. We're not meant to go it alone on this growth journey.
Right.
The law of modeling is all about learning from others, finding those mentors and role models who can guide us and inspire us.
So how do we find those people? Like, who are the right models for us?
Well, Maxwell emphasizes being really selective about who you choose to model. Make sure their values align with your own. And remember, actions speak louder than words.
So look at what they do, not just what they say.
Exactly. Observe how they handle challenges, setbacks, and even successes.
Yeah, you can learn a lot from watching how other people navigate those things.
Absolutely.
And, I love this idea of modeling. It's like this beautiful cycle of learning and growth, and eventually we can pay it forward.
Yes.
By becoming mentors ourselves.
Yes, exactly.
And sharing our wisdom and experience with others.
I love that perspective. It's this beautiful cycle of learning and growth.
Okay, so we're learning from others, we're stretching ourselves, we're making smart choices. What's next? How do we keep expanding our potential?
Well, that brings us to law number 14, the law of expansion.
Okay.
And this law reminds us that our potential is limitless. We can always grow and expand our capacity to learn, achieve, and contribute.
It's like we have this inner reservoir of potential.
Yes.
It's just waiting to be tapped into.
Exactly. And one of the biggest obstacles to tapping into that potential is our own limiting beliefs.
Oh, yeah. The I can'ts and the I'm not good enough.
All of those negative thoughts that hold us back.
So how do we break free from those?
Well, Maxwell has this brilliant mindset shift.
Okay.
He says, replace I can't with how can I?
Oh, I like that.
Right. It's about shifting from a focus on limitations to a focus on solutions.
Yeah, it's like turning that negative energy into a positive force for growth.
Instead of dwelling on what we can't do, we're looking for ways to make it happen.
Love it. And sometimes to expand our capacity, we need to take a step back
Yes.
and assess how we're actually spending our time and energy.
Absolutely. Maxwell recommends doing what he calls an effectiveness audit.
Okay, an effectiveness audit? What is that?
It sounds kind of intimidating, but it's actually quite simple. It's just about taking a look at your daily activities
Right.
and saying, okay, what's truly moving the needle for me? What's helping me grow and achieve my goals? And what's just busy work or distractions?
So it's like decluttering our lives, but for our time and energy.
Exactly.
Making sure that we're focused on the things that really matter.
And once we clear out those distractions and prioritize the activities that support our growth, we create more space for expansion, for learning, for achieving those big goals we set for ourselves.
This is so good.
Ah,
I'm already feeling more empowered
good.
and motivated to take charge of my own growth, but I have a feeling we're not done yet. Right.
You are correct. We have one more law to explore.
Okay, bring out. What's law number 15 all about?
Well, it's the law that kind of brings everything together. It's law number 15, the law of contribution.
Ooh, okay. Contribution. I like it.
Yeah, and this one reminds us that, true growth, it's not just about self-improvement. It's about using our growth to make a positive impact on the world.
So like taking everything that we've learned and become up and using it to give back to others.
Exactly. Giving back, making a difference, contributing to something bigger than ourselves.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
It almost feels like the culmination of everything we've been talking about.
It really is. Maxwell talks about shifting our focus from self-fulfillment to self-development, which means, asking ourselves, how can I help others win?
Oh, I like that a lot.
It's about using our growth to empower others to make a difference.
It's like that saying, a rising tide lifts all boats.
Yes, exactly.
When we focus on helping others succeed, everyone benefits.
And one of the things that Maxwell emphasizes is that everyone has something to contribute.
Right.
Doesn't matter your age, your experience, your background. We all have unique gifts and talents that we can share with the world.
It's such a powerful message. It's like we're all in this together. We can all make a difference.
Exactly. So how do we put this law into practice? Where do we even begin?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Well, Maxwell challenges us to ask ourselves this really powerful question. What's your legacy going to be?
Whoa.
Yeah, it's about thinking beyond ourselves.
Yeah.
And considering how we can use our lives to make a positive impact that will ripple out and touch the lives of others.
It's not just about what we achieve for ourselves. It's about the mark we leave on the world.
Exactly. And, it doesn't have to be something huge or grandiose.
Right?
It could be as simple as mentoring someone volunteering in your community, or even just being a kind and supportive presence in the lives of those around you.
Those small, everyday acts of kindness, they really do add up.
They do. They make a difference.
So it's about finding those small ways to make a difference, to contribute to something bigger than ourselves, and to use our growth to uplift others.
Exactly. And what's really amazing about this law is that it creates a beautiful cycle.
Okay.
When we focus on contributing to others, it actually fuels our own growth in return.
Oh, I love that it's like a virtuous cycle of giving and receiving, growing and contributing.
Exactly. It all comes full circle.
This has been incredible exploring these 15 laws of growth with you. It's been so inspiring.
It really has been a pleasure. And, the real magic happens when we take these laws and start applying them to our own lives.
Absolutely. It's like we've been given this amazing toolbox full of strategies and insights. Now it's time to go out there and put them to work.
And remember, growth is a journey, not a destination.
Right.
It's about constantly striving, learning, evolving, and becoming the best versions of ourselves.
Yeah.
And along the way, let's not forget to use our growth to make a positive impact on the world around us.
Beautifully said to everyone listening. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into personal growth. We hope you gained some valuable insights and are feeling inspired to take your own growth to the next level. Remember, you have the power within you to achieve amazing things. Go out there and make it happen.
And keep diving deep. We'll be back to explore more fascinating topics with you soon.